My name is Dagmar Spain, and I want to welcome you all to my presentation, Dialogic Spaces for Assessment of Students' Well-Being. This is an arts-based research project with graduating BFA students at DanceWorks Berlin, Germany. I want to express my appreciation for my former students' time and dedication to this project. Please reflect on your own dance education. These images were part of a survey with alternative assessment tools for students, which became part of my data for this research. Dialogic space is defined by openness and a multiplicity of voices, the potential for unbounded contextual meaning. Wherever dialogue occurs, it provides a space for differences and vulnerabilities. In more recent years, this term has been used by scholars of dialogic pedagogy, including Chaplin Kraft 2011, who call it the living dialogic space, and Antilla 2007 calls it the dialogic atmosphere. Ulrika Nichols 2018 connect Vygotsky's zone of proximal development to dance dialogues. For me, it is a space imbued with trust for personal inquiry with oneself and others. How can dialogic spaces serve as an assessment of students' well-being after graduating a BFA dance program? My goals were that students create their somatic dance narrative, reflecting on their well-being during their education, and for myself to create a somatic dance narrative to interpret students' well-being. Well-being is defined by Webster as a contented state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. Somatic dance narrative is a term that I coined. Martha Eady, 2009, states that in somatic education, there is space and time to breathe, feel, and listen to the body. Somatic dance narratives can be created as solos or in groups with themes and associations that resonate deeply with the participants. They can have performative qualities, but in essence have a private, almost sacred aspect to them. Here we will watch now a somatic dance narrative by Milena, one of my former students. Five former students answered the survey. With 3, I conducted in-depth interviews, and with 2 students, I explored somatic dance narratives in the studio. The surveys were coded in vivo. 3 themes emerged: physical, emotional, and cognitive aspects of students' well-being. I give you now one, the aspect of emotional aspects. I felt more and more insecure, unsure, not seen or appreciated. I felt intimidated by some teachers and a lot under psychological pressure. Never giving up, always coming back to feel the joy and the passion. These are some examples. Now we will watch the second dance narrative, somatic dance narrative by Tony.
Just go for it. And move. And try.
The interviews were coded into 3 themes: well-being of students before, during, and after their education. These are the reflections of Tony and Milena when they watched their own somatic dance narrative. Milena, always trying to enter something, the school, the system, playfully sensing and exploring the boundaries. I restricted myself in the dance as I often did in my education. Tony, I recognize in my solo that letting go of my learning, which does not further help me, and the keeping of material which will support my dance and hopefully my career. Phase 1 of the research involved inner dialogues. I used for myself an interpretive phenomenological approach for my somatic dance narratives, letting go of any preconceived notion of how my movement was supposed to look. In phase 2, I entered the dialogic space with the students and was sensitive about my positionality as their former teacher and current researcher. I chose ropes as props to create a tangible connection between us. The colors of the ropes were chosen by the students in the survey. For Tony, the rope became the entanglement and limitations of institutions. The music of this trio that follows is Childish by Vittorio Monti. The movements also chosen from the survey are dépliés, lunges, kicking, gliding, and jumping. Measurable outcomes. Students expressed a sense of meaning being part of this ABR project and never pondered certain questions before. Teacher and researcher, myself, was able to identify current issues in dance pedagogy, including the need for vital dialogues between student and teacher, and reflections on traditional teaching models, and also envision teacher training programs. A longitudinal research is necessary to compare institutions and their methods of assessing the well-being of their students. comparing institutions which provide dialogic spaces to those who do not. These are my references. Thank you for listening and watching, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.